I am doing excellent, man. 27 today. And thank the Lord that there is enough to talk about this one. First, we have got a cover by Roger Madureira. And I love this cover. I think this is a good comic book cover. But I also am aware that there is some serious nostalgia talking for me. And truthfully, it's just a decent enough cover. We have Nate Fenix with Pillick's Evil Extra Factors team. And Nate Fenix is saying, "We are about to take over the world. Care to join us?" Great cover to me. I had this issue and the next one when I was 7 or 8, so there is plenty of sentimental bias attached to it. But I'm going to try and treat the issue like I treat the cover. I will admit if it's really just okay, but seems brilliant because I read it when I was tiny. As pictured here, face reveal. Well, face reveal from about 25 years ago. Also, that was Christmas dinner. One thing this storyline picks up on is Alpha Strike's Aurora Borealis. This is a few years after Alpha Strike was cancelled, and even a couple of years after they had set up and never paid off. Aurora Borealis apparently gone missing in Extra Factors issues. No bias here. I think actually resolving this plot beat is commendable, and it is linked enough to Extra Factors in this story that it doesn't feel like someone resolving it because it needed resolving. And it doesn't go in the direction of having her show up in an issue totally fine and having a throwaway line of dialogue like, "I was on vacation," or "I got better." She has been abducted by the Canadian government. It is a shady government op and they are keeping her captive and drugged. Basically doing like a weapon cross thing. But liberation is at hand for Aurora Borealis. But it is in the shape of Pillick and a clueless Nate Fenix. I say it is a clueless Nate Fenix because he does not know that Pillick is going through one of his many bad guy periods. I am not saying it is a clueless Nate Fenix because he is still wearing a string vest even in the snow-peaked Canadian wilderness. This is written by Brett Kavanagh, who is terrible, and he wrote most of this series. And the inside art is by Roger Madureira. I didn't think it swiped. After he got called out for that by Joey Mental, I think he knew to stop. And he is a pretty good artist, but that drama benched him to D-list books like this. We also have Fatally. She is Pillick's lass and part of his team. And I'll explain this team and the setup in a bit. But the basic idea of this story is that Pillick is trying to recruit Nate Fenix to join his team and also recover Aurora Borealis so that she can eventually maybe join with them too. So we have this little jailbreak scene here, and there is the infamous string vest. It wasn't shown that well on the page where I said he was wearing one, so I wanted to point it out here. They free Aurora Borealis, and then we meet the last component of Pillock's team, which is Dark Smurf. He alone should let you know this is a Vil-Iron team. Very definitely a Vil-Iron team. The Extra Factors book was a mess at this point, and there were two teams running around. There was the main team, which were generally heroes, and they were being led by Miss Magnet and Fork. Then Pillock went off on his own and formed this team. His misguided idea of what the Excellent Men should be. He thinks that muties are not doing enough, so he shacks up with someone who looks like a hot, angry lesbian and an unethical monster from another reality. And Pillock still thinks he is the good guy. And even going thinking Pillock, he is a fool or anything. He is in on this. He is pretty much fully evil. And a little hint of that is that he and Fatally, they keep Dark Smurf hidden from Nate Fenix. Because Nate Fenix already knows that Dark Smurf is diabolical. Nate Fenix and Dark Smurf, they both come from the same alternative reality. Nate Fenix likely knows Dark Smurf better than Fatally or Pillock do. And one aspect of their gaslighting is they pretend, well, not entirely pretend, but it is for self-serving reasons. They offer to help Nate Fenix deal with his powers, and they pretend they want to help Aurora Borealis mend and get better. And I want to say, it should come as no surprise, I am into Fatally. She is hot. She is a hot woman. I think there is a scene at the end of the next issue that better justifies why I find this quite random and unremarkable character sexy beyond my insane self-abuse fetishes. But first, I need to explain who she is. And Fatally is a classic example of something we have come to see a lot of on this channel. She was introduced in Uncanny Excellent Men 298. Maybe 99? She wasn't like this though. She was set up as a love interest for Mike Tyson from The Excellent Men. And in that issue and a few others, she was, to quote John Travolta, your friendly bartender. Then Martin Quaid got to take over the Excellent Men books, and he revealed she was this evil assassin lady who was only getting close to Mike Tyson to kill him on orders from Dark Smurf. I didn't know if that was the original plan. I will give Martin Quaid the benefit of the doubt on that. But the problem for me was that it happened way too quick. The execution as expected from Martin Quaid, didn't work. The reveal was worthless. It was like a nobody character revealing she was something else. And it was just one issue and done. It didn't feel like an accomplished story. After that, though, she got picked up in the Extra Factor series. And it's really just this story here where I think she is sexy. We learn that freeing Aurora Borealis was a secondary goal, and the real objective was to steal all of the weaponry from the government group that kidnapped her, which includes lots and lots of toxic nerve gas. So yeah, Pillock, he is a total dastard in this. And Nate Fenix reads his mind here and confirms that his eel-faced turn into Vil-Ayani is not the result of any mental influence or brainwashing or possession. I started wondering if this story is why I think of Pillock as a terrible character. But I would contend that there's plenty of characters who I have overcome my initial readings of, or my preconceived notions of. Pillock for me has always come across as a consistent boring bellend with narcissistic abusive tendencies. Issue reveal is Nate Fenix uncovering Dark Smurf's involvement after he found out about the chemical warfare. I might shock the nation by not recommending this, because I didn't think I am a fair reviewer of this issue. Within the scope of Excellent Man series and Brett Kavanagh's body of work, I think this is standout. It finally has a point for a few issues. It has a plot. The artwork is good. I think it is probably Brett Kavanagh's best story. And that claim, I would honestly say, isn't based that much on my nostalgia for it. There is 2 other issues later in the run that I would maybe also say are similar in terms of being good for Brett Kavanaugh's standards. Yeah, 7 thumbs up, obviously.